Yes, I do. I feel like there is. I think kids definitely are starting to do more of the drug side. I think alcohol has always been something that's been on college campuses.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
More on, as she said, probably white campuses than black, but yes.
But I don't include marijuana in that.
You don't include marijuana?
No.
Okay.
I'm talking about opioids.
Okay.
Because marijuana is not a drug. Marijuana is an herb. It is not a drug.
With colleges, I'm just going by what I read in the newspaper, and that's mostly with Greek life, fraternities and sororities, getting into trouble with hazing and too much alcohol and drug abuse in that aspect.
People are more criminalized because if black people sell it and use it, you're more likely to be incarcerated for it.
Okay. So why do you think students engage in these activities so much?
Because they're crazy. And they're pushed into this situation where they have more academic pressure. And so you've probably spent the last 4, 5, 6 years being so focused academically and not really exploring who you are. And so then now you're not only trying to continue to be academically successful, try to fit all your hopes and dreams into some job description that's connected to some major, while also trying to having this urge within you to really just discover who you are, regardless of all these things.
I think it's mostly because it's more available. I think it seems to be more prevalent in our society in general.
I do. I think that a lot of kids who are going away to college aren't necessarily prepared for college, and so they're dealing with all kinds of new pressures, and they don't have access to necessarily counseling that they probably need to do, and so they're choosing to self-medicate with alcohol and drugs.
Alcohol, there's no sense of responsibility that is being taught or placed on them. There's a lot of depression going on with college undergrad students.
Wow.
There's a depression that happens with them that they feel like there's a lot of fear, and then they have to numb themselves from that fear to get through. Well, that's what they think, to get through undergrad.
As well as kids leaving the home and having access to just more time without anyone being accountable to.
I mean, I don't think it differs if you're drinking as a teenager versus you're drinking as a 30-year-old. I think the effects of alcohol are the same, and it's physiologically speaking, it's more weight on the liver, filtering it out of the blood and so forth, so that kind of thing. Impairment when you're driving, but I actually think your generation has it better because you've got Lyft and Uber and so forth, so you don't have to worry so much about the drunk driving side of it, whereas we did.
Long-term addiction.
Need some drug, especially alcohol, just to have fun, just to relax, just to relate to people. And if you're one of those people where you're like, when I go to a party, I have to drink or else I'm not fun, or I have to drink or else I can't, like that's a serious problem. That's like a low-grade depression.
I think there can be. I think it also depends on the student. If it starts becoming a problem with grades and studying and doing things like that, becoming addicted can become an issue for sure.
I
I
bust
wouldn't
them
feel
in the head.
anything because they wouldn't be my
I
children anymore.
kicked their butt.
Because I'd take them off the earth. Next question.
Yeah.
I don't prefer it. I think that it's definitely not something you want your kids to get involved in. I think it depends on what extent they're involved in it, and it should be something that's discussed at home.
That means that Dad and I did not do our part to listen to you and honor your feelings. And so then, one, we need to check ourselves and say, okay, so where did we miss the signs and the signals, and where did we not insert ourselves in your healing process?
Well, honestly, I believe they are, but hopefully not to an extreme. I would expect them. I mean, when they leave home, you'd be foolish to think they're not trying a beer or a glass of wine or even smoking a joint now and then. I think that's kind of pretty much out of my hands when you say goodbye to them as they leave your house. You don't have 24-hour control over them, but hopefully you've taught them good judgment. You can only tell them, you know, don't accept a drink from somebody that you don't know, don't accept a bottle that's been open, or don't leave your open cup somewhere. Don't take a hit from a joint that from someone you don't know. You don't have no idea what it's laced with, things like that. I mean, like,
Do you
when
think
they're out of
there's
your sight, there's not a whole lot you can do.